Hey guys. And he was kind of beating all around the bush, and he said the reason was because really the person he has back home is his findom, and that she finding. And I was like, what? That's a thing?
But there's applying it, and then there's the actual action of communication.
Right.
Like when you discipline a child, you tell
Keep going. And then when we do it, you guys say, "Scissor me, daddy," like that. All right?
No, you know.
This is
Different.
not the fucking thing to do. Like,
They think that's normal.
I got you, like, buddy. I can't help her.
Minutes later, I see a pizza slide under my door. No contact. Like, I'm good.
You see the pizza slide under the door with the hands, and your fucking hand slam down on top of it and grab his.
We have an initial physical type of what we like to see initially, because our eye is always drawn to something. I can see a tall guy, big and broad shoulders, and I'm like, ooh, nice. But if he talks to me, and I'm be like, maybe not. Okay, so Mike, until we get the rest of the guys in, do you want to start with your first question for us ladies? First of all, are you drinking a Capri Sun?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. First things first, what is happening?
What's up, y'all? All right, so look, I got to back up a little bit because I feel like this camera is like, pow, it's like right here in my goddamn face. Like, this shit is husky. What's up, Leisha? Better have bought that ass here. Yeah. Better have. Nah. I'm messing. Anyway. Oh, I was waiting for you. You know what I mean? All right, but back to the shits. Welcome to We Got Questions podcast. I'm one of your hosts and proprietors of the show, Mr. Hennessy, and I'm joined with the other co-host of this show, the basic. Yeah, she had to throw this piece on. She was dying to get this piece on up there. That was cute. I like it. That was dope. Yeah.
Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in.
Yeah, welcome in, you maniacs, people out there. Make sure that y'all following us on here. Make sure that y'all sharing this conversation out to everyone around you. We have a lot of people here. Oh shit. So Shane McConnell, what's going on, Shane? How are you? Welcome back. Chaz Baz, what's up, baby? I'm posting that clip on this show today. We're gonna watch the clip of us getting scared to death.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Lady J, what's up, Lady J? Lady J, this is a great conversation to have right now. Like, I think you'll love this one. Yo, Bass, what's up? Shane McConnell once again. So today's show, we decided, this is we was debating like what should we talk about, and I like this conversation because what's funny is that I got a message today on TikTok. One of the guys sent me a message, and he was like, yo, y'all should do an episode about parenting today. I was like, oh shit, well, your wish has my command at this point because I am doing an episode about that.
Right, so, we aim to please. Today's episode is about Ayo. Listen, Chaz. I think when everybody else watches it, they'll see what I seen. I'm not too loud, right? No.
Okay. I think everybody would see what I seen and what me and Marcus seen because that is still legendary. This is a legendary moment in history. Chilling. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, Lady J. What's going on, Wilkerson? How are you? What's up, boy? That was me. What you mean that was me?
It was him who sent you.
Oh, that was you. Okay. Legendary. There you go. What's up, Legendary? Yeah, that was. Remember, I told you that was ironic that you was even talking about us. I was like, damn. All right, we here. What's going on, Craig? That's Con-Man right there. That's Con-Man. So everybody's filtering in. Listen, welcome back to the show. Please, like I said, if y'all ain't if everybody's in here, just send a like. Even if you don't stay long, just press the like button for us. That's all. Just a check. It's right there. Do that little like. Share it out to somebody that you feel like will benefit from this conversation because there are people in this conversation that are parents. There are people that are co-parents. And, it's a good conversation to have. What's up, Kristen? Fine ass Kristen. But no, what's up, Kristen? Oh, that was too much fashion.
Wow.
All right, my bad. How do I donate? I'm taking any donations. Like, we ain't never take no donations. I mean,
we can start.
Always cannot. we can, we're
We
gonna
can
send it
always
to you.
start.
Right, we can send it to you tonight in basic fun. But no, that sounds like a good idea. Oh, I'm sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. But yeah, today we're talking about co-parenting, parenting, and co-parenting, just basic, simple stuff. I always make sure that I have something for everybody. So, basic, you want to hit these comments for me real quick.
Absolutely.
So examples of healthy co-parenting from what I wrote down, what I learned about it, whatever. So co-parent, no. Let's go to parenting first. We'll get back to co-parenting. We'll get back to that. I'll do parenting. So examples of good parenting. Y'all tell me if y'all agree. Guiding and supporting your child through different things. Like, and we're talking about both on both sides. Parents that are helping their kids become motivated and helping them, achieve their goals and dreams. The things that they want to do. Am I right about that? Basic. How you feel about that one?
No, I agree.
Goals and
I was gonna let you finish before I say anything. So
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you
So
have a point. So I didn't want to like interrupt and like veer it off. But yeah.
got you. I'm just giving my little tiny things, and then
Yeah.
basically you go ahead. Supporting them. Wanting them to succeed in things. This is, I feel like, one of the big things that we push our kids for. At least that's what I do. But sometimes your kids don't get it, or it's taking them a little tougher time to understand that. I had a conversation with my child about certain things yesterday, and it was the love that she was receiving for her birthday, because her birthday was yesterday.
Mhm.
So all the love that she was receiving, she I was telling her, this is the only time I've ever done this with her. I really don't do this usually with her.
He's
I got you. So, I was telling her, like, I think because of the love and stuff that I've been giving you throughout your lifetime, this is the way that you are. Like, the little girls that were responding to her was like, "You are the best. You make me laugh so much. You give the best hugs. You're caring. You don't." You don't get mad with us when I was going through some stuff. And I'm like, y'all like 10, 11-year-olds talking about y'all was going through some stuff. This is wild to me. But they were talking about they went through things, and you helped me out without knowing that you did that. And I was like, yo, I'm very proud to hear that. And I called her and said, yo, I'm proud. But she's so dry. Okay. I'm like, you don't even understand. And I told her, I said, yo, you're going to get to a point where everything that I'm saying and everything I'm doing is going to come back and meet you right there. And it's like, oh, shit. Yeah, I see what my dad was talking about. Because it's like, you'll start seeing. I said, if you go and have your own kid, you will start seeing what I'm talking about. Because I had to see it from my mom's point of view. So that encouraging independence is another one. You want to make sure that you encourage them to feel more at least today's society. I don't care about. I know everybody want to do the back in the day stuff. Nah, I'm good on that. I encourage my daughter to be you. Just don't be reckless, because I'm gonna catch you when you get reckless. I will catch your ass. Like, don't think that I won't catch her. I caught her on her birthday. Her mom was happy about that. I'm like, oh, okay, well, be happy then. But um, be mindful of things that they are into. That's one of the things I have written down. Be mindful of the things they're into. Um, avoid, at least like I said today, avoid being nasty or ignorant to these kids, because they will start hiding shit from you. You're gonna lose communication with them, you're gonna lose everything with them. And sometimes you could be nice to kids and they still do the same thing. Everybody who's saying that, we're just talking about advice to kids, that's all. I know that some people's experience is different. uh, I'll talk about that later. I'll find out if I got permission to mention these. But you have experience with your kids where you are doing everything for them, and these little fuckers still do little sneaky shit and now you the mean person because you had to turn up on them. So yeah, showing them love is a big thing. Apologizing, it's a major thing. I'm happy that I'm able to apologize to my kid, because I feel like it didn't happen a lot. It did happen with my mom. My mom apologized if she knew she was wrong, but it didn't happen as much as like it do now. You know what I mean? Like, some parents just like, no, fuck that. I said what I said, and that's it.
Mm.
And it is what it is. So discipline is a thing. Like, you don't need to try to whoop your kid to oblivion because they ate a cracker. That's just wild. That's just
Right.
wild behavior. You gotta go get checked out and see what's wrong with you at this point. Um, um, Teach a kid good behaviors and how to be a good person. That's the number one thing. Teach them how to be a good person. Don't just be good to them. Teach them how you're doing it and show how you showing your love and how you're doing things. Like be effective with that.
Yeah.
So basic, I'm gonna give you some time. Go ahead. You can say something.
Um,
Basic is over here like
No,
ugh.
I was reading Craig's comment. And Craig, I definitely want to come to what you circle back around to what you said.
I'm just spinning everybody.
Because I feel like it's deep, and I feel like it
Thank you,
really
Lady J.
there's so much that we can say, and maybe something that I'm about to say might help in this perspective.
Wow.
I
Okay.
think that Mike gave a lot of really good points of what like the fundamentals of good parenting are, right? Love and nurturing and steering children in the way that they should be. One of the things I've always said is my hope, my goal in parenting, and honestly my mission in life is to hope that my daughter is all the best parts of me and then some. And so that's just kind of how I think about things. I do also want to say that I feel like even though good parenting has like these fundamental core things, good parenting looks different for different people.
Yeah.
And the way you choose to parent does not have to fit some cookie cutter mold. We don't all we don't all parent the same way.
No.
I do not parent the same way that my mother parents, but I felt like my mother was a great parent, and I feel like I'm a good parent. I feel like if there's anything that I have that I feel like I can boast about, and it's because of my daughter, I feel like I've done well when it comes to parenting, which was, I don't feel like I'm perfect in parenting, but I do feel like I have done, at least a decent job. My daughter is watching her, and who she is now is kind of my proof and evidence of that. But I do feel like we can all do things very differently, and good parenting looks different in different situations. The way we choose to parent our children is not always going to look the same, and it doesn't make any one person any less of a good parent than another. Case in point, I was watching this TikTok yesterday, and it was this lady who was doing her daughter's hair for prom, and the daughter kind of gets sleepy, and it didn't matter to her. Like, she was unfazed. She didn't care. And everyone in the comments was like, my mom would have done this, and she's disrespectful, and she shouldn't talk to you like that. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, maybe this lady just picks and chooses her battles, and this is not one that is a problem to her. Like, we don't know what the relationship she has with her child or how good that child is. Like,
We're going to come back to you, Kristen.
We're looking at everything very surface level, but I'm sure this woman feels like she's a good parent. My sisters and I, we parent very differently, but I'm sure they feel like they're wonderful parents. So good parenting can look very different. There are, of course, very fundamental things that make parents good.
Right.
But I think that it can look very different in the way we choose to parent our children.
That's right.
Did you want to go back to Craig's?
I'm gonna go back to Craig's, but I want to go. We're gonna pull Craig's and Kristen's. You want to go to Craig's right now?
Yeah. Since it was the
you want to speak on it? You said.
Oh, we can. I mean, he was asking a question.
No. I want to answer him because, Chaz said this in response. Did you ask them what led them to steal from you in the first place? Sometimes you never. And Craig, this is not an excuse for any bad behaviors or anything like that. But sometimes when they don't have it, they want to have it. They know you have it, so they're going to get it from you because they feel like if they ask you for it, you're going to just say no. Right. Some people are not scared of consequences a certain way until they have to learn it. And when they have to learn real consequences, that's what I would say. You're right in every way how you feel about the betrayal, about getting that trust back. But you also got to remember you're dealing with a child. You're dealing with somebody who don't have the same things that you have, that don't understand what you are. So even through this, you're the village for the child. You have to you got to rear. Not only you got to whoop his ass, that means you got to rear. That means you got to get with him. Yo, you don't ever do this. Do what you do, but also maintain a certain level of something to make them respect you. You know what I mean? Make them respect you and understand what they did to you. I stole $20 from my grandma just because I wanted a 35-cent cake. I gave her the rest of the change back, but I got my ass handed to me in the process. Yeah. I got my ass kicked by 3 people that day because the lesson had to be learned. But that's just the lesson that was taught to me as a kid. Like, I'm sorry, basically, I'm gonna let you go. I just want to finish this real quick. So sometimes you gotta understand like where you're at as a person. And sometimes you have situations. If it's a repeated thing, believe me, it's a whole different situation for you now. But if you sit in a space now where this kid did that one time, it's a lot of fucking money. Don't get me wrong, like that's money. But this kid has never had that. Like, and Lady J, you're right. Some people have mental health issues. You never know what's going on with them. Like some people are so much in poverty in their life that they just do anything to make sure they get money in their pocket. They would do anything. And that's an example of that. And I'm sorry that happened to you. But I would take that approach and have that real ass conversation with them. One thing I do know with having conversations with you is that you're a real dude and you're going to speak on what it is for you. I say get with that child, talk to that child, and make them understand what they did wrong, because that's all you can really do. And then we sit in a world where things like this happen all the time, but you got to remember this is a kid that never had anything.
Yeah. Craig, I just want to take a moment to take note of some of the things that you said. Like, I know you were saying that you took it extremely personally and that it hurt you and you don't know, and it feels like betrayal to you. And I do want to say that you're valid in all of those feelings. Like, your feelings are completely validated. And hopefully, like, what we're saying is, of course, none of us have the exact answer, but hopefully some of this is a little bit different ways that you can think about this, and maybe will help you to come to some form of conclusion.
Right.
I think that you have to look at it, even though you're dealing with the personal feelings of how you feel and how it made you feel. I think in this particular instance, it's the same kind of thing we would do in any instance to us, where we have to try to see things from two perspectives, right? And maybe it's going to take a moment of you asking questions, and questions that might not get answered right away, because sometimes they do not know how, children do not know how to verbalize what is happening internally for them or the reasons why they do certain things. And so there might be deeper things that lie there. My daughter went through a period like in middle school where she was just like making me crazy on a regular basis, and I couldn't understand it, and it was frustrating, and I didn't know what I had done wrong. And a lot of it, she couldn't even tell me. She just wasn't the person, the kid that I thought she was for like a little stint, like about a year of time. I felt like I didn't recognize my child. It's not until now, or even maybe a couple years later, that we've had real talks about the stuff that was going on with her at the time and the things that she was feeling at the time that made her act out in certain ways. And we didn't even get those things out. What I can say now is, you being hurt and feeling betrayed is obviously really valid, but we all have to come from a place of grace in these particular situations with our children, because we also hope for them to have grace for us, because we're not always going to make the best choices. We're always not going to do the right thing, say the right things, handle situations the best all the time. Even though it will take time, as the person who is sort of leading her, it's a her, right? I'm sorry if I'm saying the wrong, if I'm misgendering her. Hold on. But yes, her. Even if you have to also know that she's also looking to you and to adults around her for how to mirror her reaction and her behavior in certain situations. They really don't kids are still their minds are developing. They're trying to figure out who to be themselves. And a lot of times, a lot of the things they do, it's acting out for other reasons, maybe that we don't necessarily understand. You do want to ask the questions. You do want to show that you care. You do want to show that it's important to you, but you also need to express your disappointment. You need to let her know that you're disappointed. She needs to know why you're disappointed, and to know that you care about why she did what she did, and that it is concerning to you, and that it's a disappointment. But she's also going to mirror your reaction. And it's going to be hard, but sometimes we have to find a little grace in there, find a way to be able to forgive them for mistakes that they're making. And hopefully we can sort of ask those questions so that we can have a better understanding, and then find a way that we can get to work through it. At the end of the day, I'm her cousin, not her parent, so it's tough. No, and I get that completely. I think that's the hardest part. I think that's what makes this particular situation even more sensitive, because you're not her parent. And but unfortunately, you've been placed in the role of a parent right now. And because you've been placed in that role, as parents, sometimes we have to like step outside of our emotions. You know what I mean? Like we have feelings, and of course we're upset, hurt, betrayed, all that stuff. But as parents, sometimes we have to put that stuff aside in order to be able to help them through it. Like we're shaping and molding them. We now have a responsibility. And I know it's not a responsibility that
I got you in a second, Craig and Charles.
It's not a responsibility that you asked for, but it's unfortunately it's one that you've been pushed into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so those are the things that if you're going to be able to continue to do this, if this is something you're going to continue to do, if this is something that you want to do, sometimes we as parents have to put our emotions and our feelings to the side momentarily to be able to get down to what's really happening so that we can help them to work through it.
Yeah. I'm going to add this, right? And I want to get to their comments. Connect. This is the craziest part. And I know we have our approach, and I understand Craig. I think that we all understand each other.
Absolutely.
That life, of what we dealt with, growing up. And the stuff that, we had to go through, and it was what it was, this is just, it made us who we are, but we made us smart enough to say, okay, this was happening to us. Do I want to do the same thing that happened to me, to my child, or do I want to do something different? Connect with your niece, connect with her. And what I mean by that is maybe, yeah, you have that feeling in you, but take her somewhere. Go sit down and do something with it because somebody did something to you. I've noticed, I've seen people who watch people betray them, but because they had a heart for that particular person, they took that person out to eat. Come on, sit down with me, blah, blah, blah. And then you talk to them like, oh, what do you, what's this, what's that, blah, blah, blah. Like, how do you feel about yourself? Get to a root of something. And then explain like, hey, listen, I brought you here because I wanted to have a talk with you. I brought you here because something happened to me that came from you. You did this, you did that, and the way that I was feeling, give them back something that they did to you so they can have the realities of what actually happened. Like, you hurt me because you're my family, because I trusted you and you did something to me. And I'm taking this approach to you because I can easily be pissed off and mad at you to the point of no return. But I care too much. So you want to kind of sit back and have the conversation and give them something, even though they should take a harsher punishment, you're still maintaining who you are as a human being.
Right.
And you're still treating them as a human being, even though they did something crazy, malicious to you. And they lied to you, like you said, in your face. When people, how many of us have told the truth when we got in trouble?
Right.
When we're talking about kids, like how many of us actually told the truth? Like it's sometimes I've hidden from the truth because you don't want to deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
But like you're here to save that person. You know what I mean? It's not even just for Craig. It's for everybody. You're here to save the person. You got to go out and put the work in to save the person. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like it's going to matter at the end of the day. It's going to matter that, like you did something and, you took a different approach from the person that you are. You know what I mean? This is helping you grow.
Right.
Like, I feel like everybody should do that. Because if somebody did something wrong to me, I think that I'm going to get mad first. And then I'm going to sit back and say, you know what? Let me get to them a different way. Let me go talk to them this way and see what's up. Yeah. And then explain to them what you did. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to clear my throat. I thought you were saying gentle parenting. Right. I know you were saying gentle parenting is difficult. And in no way am I telling you that is the route that I feel you should, because I don't consider myself a gentle parent at all. My child will probably tell you that I'm not either. I think that sometimes, even within the consequence and within letting them know that you're disappointed and that what they did was wrong, is also a form of showing caring and concern. Like It may be harsh to them right now, and they could hate you for it right now. That is also a form of showing care and concern. Punishment, letting them know that you're disappointed, letting them know that they were wrong for what they did is all a form of showing care in my eyes. Because I feel like I'm letting you know right from wrong. And if you know that you disappointed me, you know it's because I expect more from you. And if this is how you treat me, now I'm disappointed.
Right.
And there are consequences to doing things that are wrong.
Right.
And I have to show you that so that you know, and hopefully in the future you make better choices and you take into consideration people's feelings. But like I think that's kind of like where I was coming from with that. Like I don't, and that's another reason why I said earlier, like good parenting looks different for different people. You never know what the circumstances are, and they all vary. And sometimes it just takes figuring out what that circumstance is and how you need to, like, understanding that child, and how you need to approach the ways in which you not only discipline them, but like just approach different situations with them, how you talk to them. My daughter, like a lot of people, do spankings. I never really did that with my child, only because for Lola, disappointing me was weighed heavy on her. And so if she felt like I was upset or that I was hurt by something that she had done, that was enough. So we didn't really have to go that route. We could do conversations and let her know. But that was because that's just the kind of child she is. Not every child responds to that. But I just so happened to have a child who did respond to communication and to me saying that I'm not okay with this and I expect more. And knowing that disappointment.
She said, I expect more?
I said I expect more.
Oh, I'm about to say, damn, you got your shit was like, no, Mom, I expect more, Mom.
But even in the same token, even though I didn't have to go that route, she was afraid. She was enough afraid of me. Lola is not crazy, not by a long shot, and she just knew not to play. Like it varies with different personalities. That's why I said, like, okay, that's why one of the things I was saying is that, like, it looks different in different ways, and if it's something that you're going to commit to and that you want to commit to, it's really going to be about taking that time to figure out how you can approach it and getting more of an understanding of who this child is and what led to certain situations and how you can approach it, because it's going to look different from how I might approach it. Let me go back because a lot of people said a lot of stuff. Alicia was saying it's so hard watching your children make mistakes and having to learn the hard way. So true. But we have to let them do it. We have to let them see the consequences of their actions, or else they'll never learn. Chaz was saying, I get wanting to snap at people based on one's current emotional state. The saying 10% of life is what happens to you, 90% is how you react to it has allowed me to have more measured responses. 100%. I feel like I have lived my life that way in more than one aspect. Like I have had things happen to me in my life, and it's the way that I handle it. I say that to my daughter all the time. A lot of the lessons that I teach you are about how you handle things in life and how you respond to things in life. And it's my job to kind of guide you so that you will know how to handle certain situations in life. Because it's not about what really happened to you. It's about how you handle it. Craig, I appreciate it. Good advice. Don't want to take too much space from other people. So thanks for taking time out, y'all. I'll be in of course, anytime, Craig. Anytime, Craig. Welcome, Joe. Have more honest discussions and continue as they grow makes them a better communicator to express what they really feel. Completely agree. My daughter's 19. And I feel like the success of our relationship, the success of who she is currently as a person, is communication skills. Her ability to communicate with me, to other people about how she's feeling, communicate her frustrations, and her feelings, but also knowing how to deal with them appropriately. Legendary Shane, you have four teenagers?
It's a beast.
Send a prayer.
It's time to send a prayer.
Wait, Chris said don't forget.
Oh, I got her. We about to go to her drone right now. Listen, if the lady speaks, you got to do what you got to do. Okay, this was her comment. You got it.
I used to get annoyed when they would spill stuff until I realized at 35, I still spill stuff. So now I spill something. My kids are like, it's okay, Mom. Everyone makes mistakes. Listen, it's so funny that you say that because I feel like my sister is currently going through that with her littles. Like her little ones are like, they'll be like, Mommy, sometimes you just have to think. Which I think is the funniest thing ever for a kid to like a little person to be saying to them, Mommy, sometimes you just have to think about things. Like you have to think. That was just silly. Like, they'll say it. But
sock that kid.
I think and that kind of goes hand in hand, even though it's a very cute way of thinking about it. I approach a lot of things in life, and especially parenting, with the idea of leading with grace. I've talked to my daughter a lot about it because she's often had questions about why certain parents don't have the same responses to things that I have, right? And sometimes like how kids can be really upset with other people's parents because they treat them the same way, as we do. And I've told her most people are just trying to do their best, And if we love our children, every choice that we make is with the hope that we're doing the best for them, right? If we really love our kids, we really want them to like grow up and be successful human beings, we're all just doing our best. We're all trying to do what we think is the best thing for them. It may not be the same choice somebody else made, but we're using our own tools that we have or whatever we've had or grown up with or experienced in our own life and just trying our best. But I think sometimes kids don't see parents as humans, and so they have higher expectations of us. And if they have higher expectations of us, and they expect for us, we want the same grace from them that we also have to give them. You know what I mean? Because we're not always going to make the right choices, or say the right things, or do the right things. And I hope we can only hope that they'll have grace and understand that we're only humans. Doing the best that we can with the tools that we have. And in that same perspective, we have to do the same thing for them. Right. They're only children who are trying their best with the tools that they have, and they're learning and they're still figuring out who they are. And if we can do anything, it's help guide them through that process.
It's facts. Okay. Kristen left a comment for she said that was the original. Well, she was saying what you're saying, the grace part of it. Yeah,
we graceful up in here, right? Because I need grace too. I listen. I have a friend who will tell you that I preach grace all the time in life, because I've always been like, if I can't forgive other people, how could I ever forgive myself?
That's a fact.
Not only expect people to forgive me, but how do I get to forgive myself if I don't have grace for other people? And I think of it the same way with my child, and with her, with me. I hope that for any of the mistakes that I may have made in her life, that she has grace enough to know that I was just doing my best and trying to make the choices that I thought were the best for her. And I do the same with her. She's just doing her best.
Mm-hmm. That's an example of seeing your child for who they are.
Right.
That's what you do. You see your kid for the silly person that they are, the goofy person that they are, the educated person that they are. That's the person that they're growing to be. Is like, yo, you don't understand. Like, it's dope to watch something grow that isn't you.
You had said something earlier about one day your daughter's going to look back and think about all the things that you said to her. I remember a couple of years ago, I was out of town and Lola had sent me this text message. She was reading some book and she sent me an excerpt out of the book. And she said, Mom, I think this is why you're so good with people, because this sounds like something you would do. And I remember that being the first time I thought, I recognized that all of the stuff that I've probably been saying to her for years was actually stored up there. had not gone in one ear and out the other.
The fact
right?
that you sound so surprised, like, oh shit, it's not worked.
Like I was like, she's actually, but and even now, watching her, like little things, conduct herself at work and at jobs and with people, and the way she communicates, and her talking to me, and me realizing that the things that I told her about being a good communicator, setting yourself apart, like using your words, eye contact, all those things that when you told her, I told her when she was younger, and I knew she probably was acting like she didn't care nothing about that, because like, why are you telling me this right now? All of that stuff is actually stored up there somewhere. They actually can pull it from their little memory banks. They actually held on to that stuff, and it matters to them now. That is like the most beautiful part of watching it all, like watching it all happen, and all of the things that you thought you might have been wasting your breath on saying, when it all just kind of like comes into fruition and you can see it happening before you.
So my daughter, it's funny with her, right? She I told her about what the hell did I tell her about? I told her she's gonna go see her cousin, right? She's gonna see her cousin, she's gonna meet her cousin for the first time. Mind you, they're the same age. I think they might be the same height. My daughter is like 5'9" now, 5'10" almost. She's 12. 12. Like, and it's funny as hell to see this, because I'm like, yo, because when she was younger, all the kids that were older than her didn't necessarily want to be around her because she still was into kiddie things, and then she wanted to play with them. Now, thank you. I'm gonna post up a video real quick after we've done this, because I want to show the goofiness of this kid. This is my example of what I was telling you about. But now, when I told her, oh, you got cousins and all of them, they're your age and stuff, she went just like this. She's like, yes. I was like, did you just do that for real? Like, you know darn well you did not even, you when you was younger, you wanted to be around everybody. But I got a funny video of her when she was younger. It's 13 seconds. She was messing up the Frozen song on purpose. She had to have been like 4, because she 3 at the most, because she still had like she was a late bloomer with the potty training. She just I got pictures of her crying sitting on the toilet. But yeah, this is here you guys go. She destroyed that song on purpose. Just on purpose. Just being a cute little kid.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the goofiness and the fun part about her, she don't realize that stuff came from just being around her all the time, and then me being goofy and silly. I think her mom has levels of being goofy and silly. The family members we have are goofy and silly. Like, everybody is goofy and silly around her, and now she get a chance to be a certain way. So, it's dope stuff. So, but yeah, that's me seeing her for who she is and allowing her to be, the person she is. So
yeah,
and I'm not crying. I just had something in my eye. But anyway,
oh, he should have slight tear.
No, I really didn't. All right. So out of the things that I kind of mentioned, right, what is something that's the biggest thing that you feel like you've done as a parent? Like, do you feel like what do you feel like you actively done more with your daughter that put you in this position and where you at now? So, all right, hold up, Gina. Hey, Gina, what's going on? What's going on?
I will say this. What I'm going to try not to do is get emotional when I talk. When I talk about my daughter, oftentimes I do get emotional just because.
It's okay to get emotional.
I feel like
this is the safe space.
She is the result of all the successful things that I've done in my life. Because, and I see that in her every day. I feel like everybody knows that I'm a single parent. I've always been a single parent with Lola. And a lot of times I will say that parenting has been one of the most beautiful jobs that I've ever done, but also the most difficult job that I've ever had in my entire life. Because, this is the one time that you care about someone else's feelings, emotions, and well-being more so than you do your own. Right. And a lot of times that's very difficult to navigate. If there's anything that I can say, it's been trying to not only lead by example, but to make sure that I was giving her tools that I felt I did not have growing up. And also being very open and honest with her about a lot of things. And I feel like that's probably was the most successful part of my parenting, being very open and communicative with her. Also, making sure that she understood the importance of being able to talk about things and to flesh out our emotions and to be open and honest about our emotions. Making sure that we have a safe space for her to, be okay with being herself and expressing how she felt and the things that concerned her, as well as me being able to talk about things that concern me. And, I've always told Lola, there's a lot of things I'm going to say that you are probably going to be very upset about. And you can be mad at me and hate me 1,000 times in your life. So you're going to hate me a lot. You're going to be mad at me a lot of times in your life, okay? It's fine. I don't care nothing about that. Because as long as you know at the end of the day that everything that I say to you is with your best interest at heart, that's all that matters to me. As long as you know that even in the hard life lessons and the things that we talk about, if it's not what you want to hear and you are upset, you can be upset and I'm okay with that because you're going to be upset with me a lot. As long as you know at the end of the day, you can tell me that that I'm telling you everything that I'm telling you because I love you and I care for you and I want the best for you. And so I think it just helped us. A lot of times people, when they see us, they can see the friendship that exists between the two of us. I'm very much a parent, but there's a trust that exists between me and my child that I think has been the key component to our relationship and to her growing up. She trusts me, and that has been super important in all of the milestones in her life. The fact that she has been able to come to me with certain things, the fact that she has been able to trust me with certain things that a lot of times kids find it very difficult to trust their parents with, the fact that she knows that I will not judge her for whatever it is that she's feeling at the time and that it's okay for her to come to me. I think for me, those were the most important things that I wanted to do. And a lot of that was about not only creating or recreating a lot of the fundamental things that happened for me with my mother, but also finding the missing pieces that weren't necessarily there with me and my mother and father that I wish that I would have had, and creating that space for her so that we could be able to communicate differently and that we could both build a trust with each other. I think that's probably the thing that I'm the most proud of. I think that's the reason why we're as close as we are, and the reason why she turned out to be the kid that she did.
Okay, and you did really good without being emotional either. So
I know, because last time I did this on live, I definitely cried. For a while.
But that's dope that you have that relationship with your daughter, that she, y'all have a friendship on top of you still being a mother. Because I hear y'all sometimes when y'all talking, it's like you definitely don't sound like the mom and daughter anymore. It sounds like it's a mutual thing between y'all, even though you know the rules. Like we know the rules.
Right. She ain't crazy, but it's a part of It's funny because she always knew my mom ain't playing that, and I know how far to take it. But at the same time, it's a balance of building a level of trust and communication that's there, where we just get to where I know that she trusts me.
All right.
And it's just really important to me that she trusted me enough to know that no matter what, I was always looking out for her best interest, and that I was never going to judge her. Even if things were bad, like it's life, and we figure out how to fix it.
Yeah, same here. The same exact thing. It's the things I teach my daughter. The biggest things that I really feel like that I have for her and that we have with each other is I love showing her love. Like I love the love that she has because I see it now. I see the love that she shows to her friends, she'll just go up to one of her friends, just pick them up and hold them like this, like they're a baby. And I'm like, what the fuck is she doing, Gabby? But I be thinking that in my head. I'm like, what are you doing? But I know why she's doing it.
Yeah, because they're a reflection of us.
Yeah. I'm big on apologizing. I'd be like, oh, my bad, God damn. And she'd be like, I know it's your bad. Like, she'll say that back to me, but she does it in her own fun way. Like, It isn't like she isn't disrespectful. I remember she was saying such to me. She was messing with me. She was like, Dad, I don't know what's wrong with you, but she was saying something to me, but she was playing around. Somebody's like, you let her talk to you like that? I looked at him and said, listen, I'm not even going to conversate with you about this right now. This is our relationship. Like, I literally was very straightforward with them because I'm like, you got to learn. Like, this ain't that day and time. My daughter can have any conversation with me. Also, if she's mad, I don't care.
Everything looks different for different people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
I judge.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying, and who are we to judge? Like, who are we to tell somebody how they're supposed to raise their child?
No.
And we could talk about this later, but I think a lot of parenting also has to do with picking and choosing your battles.
Yes. Oh, we're gonna get to that. That's the funky part. But we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that in a second. But yeah, it's when it comes to how you do things, you know, like how you choose to sit back and have the conversation with them, like trusting that they're gonna say the right words to you and they're gonna say detrimental words to you. Like, I see when my daughter gets mad, she get very quiet. She don't talk. Same as me. But I would do it to her is I reassure her. I said, listen, Gabby, it's me. It's your dad.
Yeah.
You just say whatever you got to say. This stays with me and you. I create the space for her, and then she'll look at me, start going after that. She'll start talking. Well, because blah, blah, blah. And it's like, there we go. I created the space.
Yeah.
Like, I know sometimes her aunt was annoying her, and I'm like, well, Gabby, that's your aunt. You know, this is what happens. This is blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but it really annoys her. And I'm like, okay. So just express that. Just to listen, this is really bothering me, and whatever the case is. Like, you got to have your space be created too. I know some people are like, well, you're a child. Who are you to listen? That's the worst thing to do. Because when you stop them from talking, then you're going to want them to talk later. And you ain't going to get that part. Because you told them that listen, once you told them to shut up, they stated, listen, to you, they're a child. So, all right, I'm not telling you nothing. But guess what's going to happen with Dad? You're going to be able to talk to me about everything.
Right.
And guess what? It don't go beyond me and you at this point. So, yeah. I
got a question for you. Just to let everybody know, when we get into the co-parenting thing, I don't know very much about it. I didn't get to experience co-parenting. Lola's father passed, and he was not in her life, so I didn't really get to experience co-parenting. But
you can ask whatever question you got about co-parenting.
But I did want to ask you, when you realized that first time you realized that you would have to figure out co-parenting and that it would be a little bit of you doing it your way and her mother doing it her way. How was that for you? And I ask that because I have a friend who took the idea of co-parenting very difficult. Like, he gets very emotional about it because he says that's never what he wanted for his child. He wanted his child to have both parents in the home, which I understand. Makes complete sense to me, right? But they weren't, the relationship was not good. But he struggled more with the fact that they would not be doing it together.
Right.
He had a very, very hard time with that. He did not like the idea of it. He almost wanted to stay in the relationship just for the sake of saying they were both in a relationship and they were doing it together. So was it hard for you in that context, or were you like immediately like, no, we have to figure out how to do this? And was it hard?
So I think it was extremely hard. And I went through it twice. It just that the second time lasted way longer than the first time. It's going to sound wild to say it that way, but I felt like it was happening while we were together.
Got it.
We were co-parenting while we were together. All right, you have her from this time, blah, blah, blah. And then when she would come home, hand it to her, and she'll go do her thing. We weren't next to each other. So for the most part, and then I didn't even sleep. We didn't even sleep in the same bed. I slept on the couch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll play my game and then, do my thing with my daughter and then sleep on the couch when I was done. But it felt like we definitely was co-parenting because it was like taking care of whatever the daycare was, making sure she got to places, making sure she had food, making sure she had everything. And um I feel like that happening, I learned it early. So when it came to doing it again, it was just business as usual. Only difference is you're further away from me.
Yeah.
So when that part kicks in now, um, you realizing now that you're by yourself. These weird feelings are there for me. I'm sitting there with this kid, and I'm like, okay, it's just me now. I can't just be like, here, take her, or this or that, because I was so in love with my kid. I just did it, and I felt like we started hammering everything. My daughter, well, no, this is what I'm going to do. No, this is what I'm going to do. It felt like a toy.
Mm.
Felt like a toy. No, it's my toy now. No, it's my toy, and it's like it felt like that for a little bit. And that portion of co-parenting, did not realize that how bad it actually was until when I was doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you feel like that period of time was ever fueled by the way you felt about her mother? Like, was it because of, was it ever the difficulty of it? Was it ever fueled by the anger that existed or whatever resentment existed within the relationship?
I think that, and to be honest, I never had resentment towards her. When
Mm.
I ended the relationship, I felt as though it was time. I was able to end it with us being okay. I actually tried to just like, hey, you think we can possibly try to work again? I tried it, like, of
Hmm.
course. It's just that she knew she wanted to do more with her life in a different way.
Yeah.
She wanted to be with people. She wanted to do this. She wanted to, like, it ain't no way you didn't want to because you were practicing cheating while we were together. So I knew she wanted to be with other people.
Hmm.
So, um, my, I would say, like, it wasn't resentment. It was just more or less like trying to, I don't know, for me, just trying to figure out how this works, how this goes. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, and trying to conversate with her around stuff. I didn't know nothing about child support. I didn't know none of this stuff. I didn't pay no attention. I could have honestly put her on child support because I was the stay-at-home father. Even though I was working, I was out on injury. I was at home. I could have literally did it. I've actually had people tell me, "Why don't you put her on child support?" Literally say that to me, and I'm like, "No, what the fuck am I doing that for?"
Yeah.
I didn't care nothing about that. Little did I know that same situation I said no to was about to flip on me, and it was going to be me being put on it. So I just felt as though there was never a respect. After we got done being together, we it was a lot of you know, oh, who are you dating? I don't want nobody to touch my daughter hair. I don't want this, I don't want, it never was like, oh, we never had conversations about, hey, if a person is going to be in your life, can you please make sure that's co-parenting to me.
Yeah.
Making sure there's not worrying about, somebody touching your daughter's hair or certain things. Like, of course, you don't want nobody to touch your daughter's hair or do crazy shit like that. But it's like never was conversations around the people that was going to be in our lives. It was
Right.
always, something different. It's definitely not something I've ever planned, but co-parenting but co-parenting is hard, especially with potty training my toddler. I have a routine, sleep schedule, all that. When they come home, everything is off. Yeah, big
No,
time.
that was the next thing I was going to ask you. And Kristen,
I'm
you
gonna
can
get to that. Mhm.
because I was going to say, has there come a point in time now where the two of you have actually sat down and talked about what you both want as parents for her and how to make that work together?
Yeah, I had to do that last year.
Mm.
Do you realize I'm just saying that that's the first
Yeah.
time we actually got back to actually co-parenting was
Right.
last year, 2023.
Wow.
We broke up since 2014.
Wow.
I got tired of it. I just felt that it was always the same. It was legitimately like, and it sounds bad, but I don't know what in her mind. I think that it's because I wouldn't do things. I've explained this on previous shows. I wouldn't do things that she wanted me to do. She felt as though I should do more, or I should just volunteer. Don't you? These are her exact words. Don't you want to do this for Gabby? Don't you want to do that for Gabby? And I would say, yeah, but not from you.
Mm.
I don't want you to be the dictator of what I do for my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do it because Mike wants to do it. So it's still a lane that, hey, this is my lane, this is your lane. Even though my daughter's in the middle, we're pulling her these ways.
Yeah.
I got tired of doing that. I've been tired of doing it. It just so happened that I got really, really tired of it. And I said, yo, something got to hit me the head. And I had to break it down like, yo, there's families involved, there's people involved. You want, how is Gabby supposed to grow up in this
Right.
way where these things happen?
Sorry.
Bless you. Um, it's usually another one. So
I know. I'm trying to
I'm
keep
waiting for it.
it. Right now, it's under control.
But no, like it was a level of that thing like happened in the lanes, like I said, in the tug of wars, and I had to change that aspect, and I had to have conversations around family and why these things are important and why this stuff needs to happen. And that's a big thing. Like anybody in here would know that sometimes somebody gotta swallow that pill and just try to man up the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Manning up doesn't mean masculine or anything. It just means something has to happen. Something has to give. Like it can't keep being this fucking fight the whole entire time. Like, every
Right.
single time we have a conversation. We recently had a situation. I had to keep breaking it down to her. Until you learn how to talk to me a certain way, you going to get this treatment from me. I
Right.
have to be direct like that. No matter how much she says things or whatever, nothing of that stuff fazes me at all. I'm going to maintain my boundaries and I'm going to maintain that level of respect. But co-parenting, as far as that, like I had to make it a certain way for us to be something for Gabby. And
Right.
now that we're doing something, like even with her birthday this year, she didn't tell me that she planned her birthday back in January. She just did it.
Wow.
Now we're showing up now, and it's like I say something to her. She's like, "Well, I was waiting for you to reach out." I said, "I don't know why. I keep telling you, I'm never going to read your mind. We're not together. Why would I just still having to think? Let me call you. That's your guy's job to do that. It's not my job to do that. It's not. If you planning something for Gabby, it's okay to tell me in January or December. Hey, let's find out how much this costs and let's do this cost right here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and by January it gets here, the cost is all to you now. Like, okay, this cost is bam.
Right.
It's the very easy stuff, and just that it's up to the person to make it difficult.
Kristen, if you can, the same question goes to you. I'm always interested in how people navigate through co-parenting, because I know you were saying like when they get with their father, everything is completely different. Have you guys actually had a conversation with each other, or do you even feel like you're at the place where you can have a conversation with one another to like work on a schedule that you both believe in and work on, and it's for like the betterment of the children? Or is that one of those things that it's just like difficult to, because you have to, I always wonder this,
Mm-hmm.
if the two of you remain together, you're going to have to make choices collaboratively for your child, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now you're not together. So now that you're not together, is it, this is what I want for her and I really don't care what you want for her? Or does the same thing still exist? Like we need to make choices collaboratively that work for our child. And is that something that you discuss ahead of time, like before you decide to have children? I know it doesn't always work out that way. Like people plan children. That's not always the case. Sometimes kids just happen. You know what I mean? But like, is there ever discussion beforehand with children of how you want to raise them and to see if those values match?
You want that answer? Bam, there you go.
Well, he's always been selfish. I was a single mom in the relationship, but as of right now, he has realized I'm talking to someone. So he's been, oh, see that? And that was kind of like what I was asking you earlier. Like, is a lot of the conflict, or was ever any of the conflict because of like relationship stuff?
It's one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
When I remember, I told you the story of my daughter. Okay, so the very first person she ever met that wasn't, it happened twice. It happened 2 times. Not just them.
Mm.
So, the first time it happened, dating this woman, and she seen who she was, because remember back in the day, Instagram used to snitch on you. Instagram used to snitch on you. I mean, what's going on?
How is this?
It's just remember back in the day, if you like somebody pictures or if you commented, it used to have a feed, a news feed of showing, oh, this person liked this person picture, this person said that.
Oh, did it? I didn't remember
That was a long time ago on Instagram Lives. Everybody remember them days? It was hell on earth because you had to watch what the fuck you did. What's up, mother?
Hello.
So yes, back in those days that happened, and we were still friends on there for some reason. We wasn't together or nothing like that. We never, and this had to been like November, around November. I'm doing amazing. We doing really good. Just putting stuff up. So yeah, Kristen remembers. All right, cool. So she must have seen it or something, and she looked at her page. Mind you, this woman was very beautiful. Like she was a very beautiful woman. Never touched her, never did anything. She was very beautiful. That was one of the girls I was like, well, I would love to be with her. But we dated. Like we used to go out all the time, hang out, all that stuff back in 2000, end of 2015. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she basically, I remember she sent me this. I kind of still have the email that she sent me and was like, because I remember she got all crazy and stuff. She started calling me and she's like, oh, is that the woman you're talking to? All the other stuff. I was like, yeah, this is, her and everything like that. We were in the car together and we were driving to go bowling. And she was like, oh, that's what's up. Like, yeah, we were in a car together, go bowling, blah, blah, blah. So she said something and she was like, oh, she's very pretty, all this other good stuff, right? Good, cool. Mind you, this had nothing to do with Gabby. This is everything to do with me at this point. So me and her had went out. Me and my daughter's mom had went. We took Gabby to the crayon factory to make crayons or Lego and something she went to where she could make all her stuff. Let me get to a point. So she was like, oh, I'll show you who I'm talking to if you show me who you talking to. Stupid toxic shit that we did back in the day. Didn't pay it no attention because if it was today, I'd like, no. But I showed her the woman and she knew exactly who it was. She showed me the guy she's talking to. I was like, oh, okay, that's what's up. Whatever the case is. I think like the next day she called my phone and she was like, I'm crying because I can't believe this is that. And I was like, oh, I'm trying to smooth the situation around, leave it alone. She called me back. I don't want you to date this girl no more. I'm having back. I want us to get back together. What the fuck? And it started getting crazy and crazy and crazy. She used to call me 50 or 60 times a day, over and over again. Send me emails talking about this woman. I'm going to tell her that me and you are going to get back together. So what in the fuck? It just got crazy for like a month.
That is crazy. Back in those were the days we were sending strongly worded emails. Like that was when we had time. When we was mad, it was an email. We had time to type out paragraphs.
Yes, I got a fucking email about that shit, and I'm like, "Yo, what is going on with you?" She got going crazy about this shit, and then like around December, she cooled off, but me and a woman actually, because she started getting a little crazy, me and a woman kind of fell off with each other. Mm. So now you go into, 2016. I get an actual girlfriend in 2016. Me and her are talking. I remember I told you a story about picking up my daughter's dress for Cinderella. Mm-hmm. And I paid like $200 for a fucking Cinderella dress that Gabby wore one time. So got the Cinderella dress. She came to my house not telling me that her dude was going to be with her. Mm-hmm. The same guy she showed me the picture of. She ain't tell me he was going to be there. And on top of that, she got mad because I didn't introduce my girlfriend to her. First of all, you brought a guy to my house and never said, hey, this is this person. And then you get mad because I didn't introduce. She called my phone, snapping out on me. Why would you introduce me to her? Blah, blah. Like, what the fuck? It was wild. It was madness. Once again, none of this has anything to do with Gabby. Right. But it did when she said, I don't want her around Gabby. And I would just be like, well, I don't care. Like, well, don't play with me, Michael. I will take her from you. Oh, okay. Like, it was one of those type of situations.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wild.
So the early stage of the co-parent was beyond trash. Then it got worse and I was on child support. So
I remember friends used to tell me, Raquel, you should be happy that you don't have to deal with this part of the whole parenting thing, the figuring out the co-parenting thing. It was never a thing. Like, of course, I get what they meant. Like, they were coming from a place of distress, but they were like, just be happy that you don't have to deal with that.
Some sentiments, I actually agree with that. That's an agreed sentiment because the headache, and I know, like you said, you can't compare it like you lost a parent, but you said he wasn't active anyway. But
Right.
just imagine if he was active and wanting to take your daughter to this place and do this and do that, and then now you trying to figure out she come home with a scar on her arm, and you like, where the fuck did that come from? And now no one knows or anything. Her clothes ain't changed. She might have wore something that she wore 2 days in a row. She ain't brush her teeth. She ain't do this. She ain't do that. Blah, blah, blah. The whole 9 yards.
Right.
I would rather just be a single parent at that point.
Well, thank you, Craig. What did Charlene say? I'm concerned to let my ex find out when
Thanks, Craig. You the man.
around our son. It's not written into the custody agreement. So
you might want to go back and write that into the custody agreement. I'm sorry, let me cut you off. Let me go ahead and just say this right now. Anybody that is dealing with a current situation or a current thing that can potentially be a problem. Now, I'm not saying that it is a problem. In case it was a problem, I'm speaking very, very intellectual right now. I'm being very direct. Make sure you take your ass to them courtrooms and just get the papers done. There is an easy process to it all, and it's called avoidability. I'm not doing this shit with you. So let's go here, get this done, because if I take too long to do it, I'm going to build up all this other shit and unnecessary shit, and you don't need this shit. So let's get rid of these shits.
Right.
I'm done.
I was going to say, it's funny that she says that I as a single parent who never experienced co-parenting issues, I also understood the difficulties of it just because I had a lot of friends who had to deal with it. I remember I was dating a guy who I had known for years, but we didn't start dating until like a later years. And he had children. I had my daughter. But we had run into the conversation of how we would go about me meeting his children, and if it would be, what I would want. Like, I would want him to tell his ex that I would be meeting his children. I would want her to know about me. I would, I didn't necessarily think she had to approve of me, but I wanted her to know that he would be introducing his children to a woman. You know what I mean? Because I would want that same. I always thought if the roles were reversed and I were in this situation, how would I want it to be handled, right? And then I also would be more than willing to meet her first if that's how she wanted to do it, because I understand as a parent what that feels like, right? What that would feel like. I remember us having this conversation and him telling his ex that he was dating me. And I already told y'all about the one ex that like lied and told him a whole bunch of lies about me, and she'd never met me before in my life, and she pretended that we used to work together and all that stuff. But the reason we broke up was because she decided to keep his daughter from him because he was seeing me. And of course, he did not want to not see his daughter. And it made complete sense to me. Like, of course it sucked, but that was the primary reason why our relationship ended. She didn't care about meeting me. She didn't want to meet me. And to punish him, she kept him from seeing his child so that he would break up with me. Wild.
Wow.
Wild stuff.
So I just got him to agree to attend the court-ordered co-parenting classes. He was avoiding it, hoping it will help our situation. Yeah, I mean, you're doing the things. Like, I'm going to get to Legendary's Shane stuff, but you're doing the things to avoid these big problems because you care. I wish I could have had these conversations.
Right.
It wasn't like that. My child's mother still to this day is very like, it's her way or she's gonna fight you. Like, not like physically, but she's gonna fight you with her words.
Yeah.
And it's like you almost feel like a secondary person, like a damn second class citizen or something like that. Not a first class, second class.
Right.
Like, I don't know if it's like a stigma around fathers. Like, okay, I'm on child support. You have her more of the time. You chose that life. I didn't. I took care of my kid. You didn't give a fuck. Literally, I can play both sides of this. Like, I'm not making an argument. For everybody's situation different. You got ones who don't do something, and that's cool. If I told you I didn't want to pay for soccer because she said she don't want to pay for soccer, I'm not paying for soccer. You want to force the money in my pocket? Cool. You got to deal with it. Like, don't come to me. You got to deal with things. That's your choice in life. We don't have to be here, but we're here.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter's older now, so she, there's not too much of a concern. But I'm also not going to put myself in a bad situation either. So, yeah, if you can, please get to that. Change, make sure that I hope everything changes with it. It has to be. If I'm a therapist, I'm telling people we got to be in a position to listen. Let's not talk. Let's do more listening, and let's do more of these things right here. Stop talking. Stop
Right.
listening to respond. Somebody might say something wrong. Y'all can have your rebuttals against each other, but at some point, let's how about we do these things? Like, yeah, I'm all about that. Like, let's do that. Shane said he's in Bama court, so down there they don't give a damn about people, especially people like us.
That's wild.
Yes. So I want to do one thing real quick. Basic. We're going to do the co-parenting healthy thing. We talked about
Okay.
the shit, but these are the things. Following a plan, a parental plan, is big. Follow parental plans. This is advice for everybody. You can put that up if you need to look at it.
Yeah, she was asking a question, so I didn't know if you
There's
want.
a difference in your opinion with who is around the child gender wise. Yes. For me.
I don't. So I was going to say no. I think predators can be either gender.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be careful either way. You
Yeah.
have to be careful if you leave your child with a woman. You have to be careful if you leave your child with a man.
Abusers, sexual abusers.
Anyone can be a predator towards a child. I think we as parents have to do our due diligence with no matter if it's male or female. Mm-hmm. And we can't be like, well, it's okay because she's a lady and she's nurturing and she's a mother herself. She could be a sick person too. So I think we just have to do our own personal due diligence about who we are entrusting with our children.
And that's the biggest thing about the co-parenting. It's who you have it because you're not around the child no more now. You're not together. When you're together, you know where your kid is at. If they ain't at school or hanging out with somewhere with a friend, where the fuck is you at? You ain't got no job, so where you at, kid? Like, now it's like I tell my daughter every time, leave that motherfucking. I said, if you ever in a situation where you feel like you're unsafe, put your phone in your pocket. Mm-hmm. There's a button you press, just call 911. That's it. You do it immediately. Y'all got to utilize them smartphones. Them smartphones can work in 0.2 seconds. Sometimes you don't even have to yell Zuri's name. I'm not going to say it right now because it will call him. But if you say a particular thing, call this number, it's going to do it. It ain't even going to ask no questions.
Yeah.
And on top of that, leave your location. Like, people don't want to follow people. Oh, no, that location's sitting on until the day you check. I bet if I check before you, that location still better be on with somebody else. Like, there's too much. Like, if people worrying about the government, fuck the government. If they want to do something, they'd have been did it. Like, you got to do what you got to do. Like, take care of yourself, take care of your kid. Like, especially when they're not around you. You don't know who's around you. That's probably why I'm so, like, the number one gripe I have for my child's mother is the people you have never let me meet that's around my child. I just met her boyfriend this Saturday. They've been together for like 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
Because she didn't care to do it. I really didn't care to, but she's talked to people that I've had around my daughter. She's talked to the most recent person, Milan. She was around Gabby all the time. All the time.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you not know about these people? You know that they exist.
Right.
You got to put the work into co-parent this thing the right way, because, like, if I'm not a part of the process, guess what happens if something happened to her? I'm coming after you 100%. I'm not going after the person. The person's going to get it, but you're going to get it too.
Right.
It's easy. Have conversations. And the biggest thing on here that says for healthy co-parenting is communicate. That's it. Communicate. Prioritize direct communication. Everything. Consistency. Let's do rules. Make rules about the child together. Stick to a parenting schedule. Like, I'm gonna lie, I ain't gonna lie, I'll be trash on that sometimes. But sometimes I'll be asleep. Like, everybody know. I even had to, I was late getting Gabby on Friday. I was like, yo, I came home with the sleep. Everybody laughed. My daughter even laughed at it. Her mom even laughed at it. Like, yeah, I understand. Like, but yeah, it's all types of stuff that goes with this. Like, she said, yes, I agree. I just can't say the vetting process is completely foolproof.
True. That's the sad part. And I think that's the hardest part about the fact that you are doing it separately, is that there needs to be a level of trust, and not only trust, but like responsibility that is known and given to the other person, that they are making sure that they appropriately vet people that come into your children's life. But the part that's difficult is that you're relinquishing some of that power because you have to. You don't have any other choice. You're not there every day to be a part of this process. We also can't dictate everything that another person does. But we have to be sure that there's some process, some level of trust, some level of responsibility that is established before introducing new people into your children's life. Right. Whether it be I would like to know ahead of time before you introduce somebody into my child's life.
You're not diverting the conversation. You're fine. We're talking about the conversation. You're good.
Oh, no. It's fine.
Yeah, you got to stay right where you at. You giving us gold to talk about.
I feel like those are the conversations that you have to have. Like it's okay to say, I know that this is what that you are responsible for doing this, and then I can't tell you who to bring around, but I would like this to happen for me. Hopefully you will tell me who this person is. Hopefully you will at least let me know when you're introducing somebody into my child's life. I want to know at least a little information about them. You don't have to tell me their whole life story, but I would like to know when someone new is going to be introduced to them and brought into their life. But I'm also trusting you to not leave them around that person all the time without knowing who exactly they are, knowing who they are, and maybe even setting time limits before they're allowed to be alone with that person. Like, those are all things that you guys should be able to negotiate and at least talk about, because you're not going to be physically there all the time when those situations happen.
It's facts. All right. So look, I want to lighten up the mood a little. You know, I try to do this every day, or every show, just to lighten up the things. This is nothing crazy. Something fun. I do not know what this video is. Oh, so this is in one of these videos, this is my example. I use these videos, even though it was funny stuff, I'm using some of these videos as a way of communication. Like, this is what I call healthy, fun co-parenting. Because sometimes you got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold them.
Put my baby on the nature trail. Yes, ma'am. What the hell is that? Oh, she done took him. Wow, you just gonna leave the guy out here to get...
She communicated by running. That's just the part. She let him know, yo, I'm gone. That's it. I'm gone. So that was a little fun video that I decided to throw up there. Yep, because Quiet on the Set is eye-opening. Yes.
100%.
Yes, big time, Chaz, big time. My first child, I trusted his father, and I have yet to meet my son's stepmother. They live in another state. That is wild as shit.
But
I'm the same thing. I just met mine.
But the question to ask here, do you think that it's worked that way so far because you do trust that he would make the right decision for your child?
Mm-hmm.
Is that why it works, or are you still a little out? I know you want to meet her because you did, but you do say that you trust him and her now. And do you think that comes from a place because you know that he would always have your child's best interest at heart and would not allow anyone around them that he thought was going to be bad for them? Pretty
much. All right, so while she's pondering on that question, I give you a chance to take a little bit of a break if you need, real quick, basic, just to get up and stretch. But I'm gonna play it. The videos is like 1 minute. The videos overall together will be about almost 3 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe. So I'll give you a chance to stretch out.
I'm going to, this whole time I've had this here on my desk, all I've thought about is this what it would look like in your hands. This is what the Capri Sun looked like when you were holding it up. So if you were holding this candy bar, how small?
You want to eat the shit out there, Hershey's. Just say you want to eat
I'm about to open it.
Go ahead. You be talking about me.
I'm about to take a bite out of this.
You be talking about me.
You gave me a break. I'm taking this break. I'm taking liberty.
Go ahead. I'm playing the video starting now, y'all. Enjoy this, please. Sit around, watch this, y'all. Funny content.
Are you serious? Oh shit!
God damn.
Oh, it hit me. Damn, I'm hurt. I'm hurt like a mug. I can't. Yo, my vision is blurry.
God.
He slapped the shit out of me.
Oh, damn.
Yo, man.
What? No way. Let me peek my head in here.
Oh, my.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wait, I'm not like.
No! Don't go in. Don't go in. Yo, Mike! I was trying to say don't go in there, yo. That motherfucker bodied me as soon as I walked in the door. Yo, Chaz about to fucking die. Chaz about
Don't go in.
Oh my god.
Oh, shit.
Out. Get the fuck out.
Go.
Chaz about to get fucking snuck.
Oh, my God. We about to watch it. Oh, no.
Go. Just get out. Just get out. Oh my god.
Now, if he come kick that fucking door in.
Chaz, go. Just get out. That's an emergency exit. Oh, okay. Oh my god. Oh
shit.
my god.
Shaking over doors. Motherfucker shaking over doors.
Chaz the MVP! Chaz is the fucking MVP, yo! Oh my god! That was the fucking funniest fucking shit.
I can't help. Like, every time I watch that fucking clip, you do not understand how
Hold on.
funny it was.
I'm sorry, Mike. Hold on one second. Hey, Big Red. I'm sorry. I don't know you, so I don't know if you're being disrespectful or if you're being funny.
What is
So
this?
someone else can clarify for me before I go off. Do we know who this person is?
It ain't gonna take me much to get him the fuck out of here. So.
Okay, just want to make sure because I was listening. I don't even know if Lady J's still in here. But we were about to. It was about to happen. Go ahead.
I have no clue. Listen. Shouts out to the videos or whatever the case is. That shit wasn't cool.
Right.
If you're a weirdo like that, you come in here trying to type some stuff that's on somebody else's platform. One, that's beyond weird. Like, don't do that. That's my friend. Like, I would legitimately, if I seen you personally, I would destroy you. That is my friend. Don't ever do nothing like that.
Use your big boy.
Talk about a woman like that. Like, these fucking boys out here, I swear, just soft people sit behind these computers all day. Can't stand y'all. This is all good. I've given you too much energy.
Right. Learn how to speak to women, jokingly or not. How about that?
I don't care if he is joking. You'll never talk about no fucking woman like that. Because you're a fucking weirdo. You know, you ain't got nothing going on in your life. You ain't got no choice but to do this. Let's go and move on. So kill my whole mood now with my fucking video. But anyway, so we're moving on to...
Go to Charlene's comment. I like what she just said.
Okay.
I watched my son when he came home. We're talking about the co-parenting situation where she said she'd not met her ex's wife. And she said, I watched my son when he came back from visits and he never showed me anything to be concerned about. I looked to my son to guide my behavior, to regard his stepmom and his father's decisions. That's beautiful when you can do that.
Yeah. I love what that. I love that she said what she just said.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. Because you actually saying that I trust somebody with my child, and that's what's up. Um, Now I don't know if it sounds like you have multiple kids. Like, is this situation you're dealing with now? Is this with your other children? Like, I know you don't see it. We deleted that shit. Like, so
It's gone.
it's gone. He ain't never coming
Gone.
back. He ain't never coming back ever.
Yeah. Him and the words were gone. So we good.
I mean, obviously, if you watch the instant replay, it'll be on. I shouldn't even have put that up there. But obviously, if you watch it,
Did you put it up?
I posted. I put it on the screen. I'm like, oh shit. I just
Oh.
thought about it. Yeah. Maybe I didn't.
I don't
Because
think you
nobody
did.
seen it. Yeah. I think I just looked at it and deleted it. No. Yep. Don't worry about it, guys. Y'all know this what's going on. But go ahead. So, I'm sorry. We're moving on forward. We're moving forward with stuff. So,
Yes.
the another thing is when you have disagreements with each other as co-parents, as parents, but co-parenting, when you have disagreements with each other, never do it around your child ever. Never do it. Never let your child see stuff that is happening between y'all two. One of the biggest problems I have sometimes with my daughter's mom is that she'll communicate with me through my child. And some of the things my kid is saying to me, I'm like, this is not my child. And I'll tell her, Gabby, tell your mom to call me or text me. I don't want it coming from you. Okay? Me and you should be me and you. She said, okay. That's how I knew it came from her. Because why would she say that?
Right.
She would say, oh, Dad, I'm asking you.
Right.
Yeah. No. It's a no for that. So, how do you feel about that? About parenting, about disagreeing and not being around. Because I know you said you never experienced it, but like if you can look at the whole overall picture, would you consider that be a good trait for healthy parenting?
I think of it the same way I used to do with my daughter and her teachers. I used to hate when teachers would tell children to pass a message on to parents, right? About something that they should be talking, especially when she was little, right? Don't speak to her about an issue you have with me. If there's something that I need to be doing or that I've forgotten, don't tell my child, you tell me. You know how to you email me for fundraiser shit all the time. I'm gonna need you to email me for the same kind of things, right? You got an issue that I need to address, talk to me, not through my child. And
You're okay, Kristen.
It happened like in parenting. If we have an issue or disagreement, we still don't let that filter through our children. We wouldn't do it if they lived in the same home. We wouldn't be passing messages through them if we were still together. So we're not going to do that now. We're not roping them into it. If I have an issue with you, I should talk to you like an adult, not through the children.
Right. And that's what it should be. What?
Charlene has another great one. We are court ordered to use the Talking Parents app. Wow, I didn't even realize that was a thing. We have absolutely no verbal communication whatsoever in person. All communication must be documented. That right there, now that I like, to have all things documented, but still you guys are still communicating directly, but just not in person, and everything is documented.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I might need to tell some people about that. It's a smart thing to do.
As you drink that wine, you get that little sadistic corner of the eye face. That corner of the eye look. Tell all these motherfuckers about this shit now. So I don't want to reference nobody else's life, but I will speak to it. We don't talk, so it's like I don't even know if she watches the show anymore. But who I was talking to before, the situation is verbal communication between them, and he's trashing that too. Straight trash between verbal communication for their kid, and it's like you'd be amazed to know like these people really, when they get to a certain point, they don't give a fuck,
right?
Really, and it's like to the things that you have to deal with dealing with being a co-parent. It's some of the wildest shit ever. It can be very, very annoying. It's very draining. and it changes who you are. It makes you feel some type of way towards people. It makes you feel this. It makes you feel that. You don't have to deal with that stuff. You really don't.
Right.
But the things that happen. So hold on, Charlene. Is this Cece? Charlene from Tiki of Talks? Yes, accountability and can't go to court lying. Facts. Of course,
Exactly.
I tell that big ass story. So, oh, sorry. I'm reading. I got messages. Thank you, Kristen. I'm okay, Kristen, by the way. So I just don't play about my friends. Um, I would do that for everybody. I don't play. Um, I recommended. I recommend the app to either parent and high conflicting co-parenting. Ooh.
I was just about to
Okay,
say
got it.
that's
Got it.
something that I would recommend too. I know someone who has custody of a child, but the child's biological parent has visitation of them, and there are very strict certain things that have been set into place for the biological parent, but they do not always follow it, and sometimes things get really nasty on their end. And I was going to say that would have been a great, like such a useful tool to the other person if they were communicating through that, and that way where every time that person tried to tell a lie or reinvent history of what actually was said, there would be documentation of exactly what was said, how they communicated, when, on what date, and how certain things were handled. I think I still might suggest it to them. One of them's not going to want to do it.
Definitely no. Nobody wants to.
But it's smart.
You know how it is. People don't want to feel compromised, or they have to do something. Like they don't want them. They don't. No one wants to feel like, hey, I might be the person with the issue.
Right.
I might be the mentally unstable person that they're talking about. And it's like, yeah, you are the mentally unstable person that we're talking about at this point. Get your shit together. Like, is that easy? Like,
right. They should definitely get it court ordered, though. I think the fact that it's court ordered and they have to, like, that should be required for like all of these situations.
Right. Right.
Especially when it's a high conflict, high emotion situation.
Mm-hmm. And that's the part. It's the conflict part. The conflict part matters. Like I said, I can't speak about nobody's business, but when you are doing particular things, and you know you gotta take that route. You have to.
Right.
Like, especially when it comes to, you know, assaults and essays and threats, other little things. Maybe you just, you know, stalking, shit like that. Like, I'm being revealed about that situation with the person that jumped in this chat. It's a stalker.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a stalker. Weird people. So yeah, protect. You gotta, you know, protect at all times. So, let's see. What's another example of this? Stability for the children. Mental stability, emotional stability, physical stability. Like, all those things are a thing.
Right.
You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I need to find out PA is a recorded state. I would love that.
Is the what state?
A recording state. That means you can record as long as one person has the consent to do it. I know it's a thing in Georgia, so y'all can record conversations without the other person's consent. As long as you're the person with consent. It sounds wild, right? It made us ran around and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna record your conversations."
Right.
So yeah, I believe in stability for the children. The craziest one I'm reading on here, I'm gonna just read it out to you. Intimate relationship as co-parenting. That is not co-parenting. I don't know why that was on.
Is it saying that you should abstain from an intimate relationship?
No. It's literally saying intimate relationships and an interpersonal relationship that involves emotional or physical closeness between people and may include sexual intimacy and feelings of romance, of love. Intimate relationships are interdependent, whatever. And the members of the relationship mutual influence each other. Yeah.
So is there argument that Co-parenting is better when there's an intimate relationship that exists. Well, yeah, because y'all still
You fucking yeah, man. Y'all still bumping and grinding, you know what I
right.
mean?
Of course, y'all agreeing on everything. Y'all still fucking around. Of course, we agree.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do. You want to take him out to the go ahead and take him to the park. You coming over later? Of course, it works better that way.
Yeah, that's how I be. That's how I
right.
be. I don't want no co-parent like that though. Like, my daughter's mom got some good yams, but fuck that. Her mind is fucked up.
Oh gosh, Kristen said, yeah, for myself, like I mentioned earlier, the playing games to be smart, and because you're in your feelings, it's just annoying. Going to court can eliminate that stress. I'm so glad, even though I wish things would have been different and my child's father would have been a part of her life, I'm so glad I didn't have to go through that kind of stuff. Because I can only imagine the amount of emotional stress that it puts on you personally, even if you don't want to be with that person. Like, let's say there are still feelings involved. Imagine that set of drama. But then it's equal. I feel like it's just as stressful if you don't want to be with this person. And now we still have to go. We are forever tied. And now I have to go through this whole process just because we have to make it work with our child. And we can't get it together. And especially when it's because the other person might be harboring some petty feelings or like just childish and doesn't want to make it work. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I can't imagine having to deal with that.
Yep. You dodged it. Other stuff was probably difficult, I can imagine. Even trying to get it, be in a relationship with somebody probably was tough, you know?
Yeah, I would say, I know people probably think, oh, well, you probably could have done anything you wanted to. I think I was almost more cautious with the way I chose to parent and bring people around my child. Being a completely single parent, I was even more cautious of the type of not only the type of people that I brought into her life, but because her father was absent, I did not want to take it lightly, bringing male figures into her life in the absence of her father, and possibly sending the wrong messages, like the fact that these men were interchangeable within her life and that anybody could just come in and out, or her building some sort of connection to a person that might not be in her life for a long period of time, or her building a connection with somebody who might not be there genuinely for me, and the relationship might not last. I was very cautious of the kind of people that I brought around her in general. She probably met maybe 2, maybe 3 men in my life. In her younger years, probably 1.
Okay.
When she got into her older teen years, I think maybe she met 2. Maybe 2, if not 1. Literally. I just was very cautious about the people that, let me take that back. 2 people in her younger years, 1 that I was seriously dating, 1 that I had actually stopped dating because we were such close friends that he became a very big father. He was a father figure in her life. They were very close. And I even entrusted her with his girlfriends. We all became a close-knit family. That's just how close mine and his relationship was. Even though we were exes, we were still very good friends. I trusted him with my daughter. Him and I always hung out together. I knew his girlfriends. We spent holidays and Christmases, stuff like that. So 2 in her younger years, maybe 1 in her older years. But it was just because it was just very important to me, the kind of people that I brought into her life, especially with her not having her father present. I didn't want to be constantly shifting people in and out of her life when I knew that was a connection that she was already missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't want to trivialize that for her.
California has a law for, what's that, coercive
control in a family law. I had to learn about that, unfortunately. What is that? What is coercive control? Oh my gosh, I was just saying this. Like, I gotta deal with this a-hole for the next 15 years. Listen. That's the only caveat of her father not being in her life, is that I didn't have to deal with that part of the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't have to deal with that part. But yeah, I think it's so hard when the two. I always find it. Isn't it? Don't you think it's sad that when you do see two people who are able to co-parent in a peaceful way, and it looks, and it really, you can tell that they're really working towards the betterment of the child, that we find it shocking. I think it's sad that, like, the majority of the time
Yep.
it's always something that's done with contention, and that when we do see it, we're always like, oh my gosh, it's such an amazing thing. Like, I wish it was the reverse. You know what I mean? That for the betterment of the child, we could all just like be grown-ups. But it never fails. Somebody gotta be childish. One of us gotta be petty. One of us gotta be bad. It's gonna be one of us.
Somebody gonna be mad, and that's how it usually goes. Like, I'm not trying to be the one sitting here mad because it ain't fun for me, and it ain't gonna be fun for you.
Right.
So, yeah, you can be mad all you want. What's another one I had up here? So, we pretty much ran through these. Clear boundaries, boundary with extended family, consistency with house rules between both of y'all. Um, Keep the kids out of the conflict. Uh, try to agree as much as you can about things that happens with the child. Like, what I mean by that is, like, try to get to a point where y'all have an agreement about something.
Do you and Gabby's mother have similar house rules for her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, similar, but it's different at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Control the emotions, allow flexibility, respect. That's the one I think out of everything I don't get on here, respect is the one I don't get.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta demand that shit. Like, and it's wild because it makes me look like I don't like being a certain way. So when I demand things of you, it makes it look like I am, like, possibly, let me see, like I'm treating you like you less than, or like you got a whole duty in your life. I don't want that man to feel like I'm talking to his lady a certain way, and he feels like he has to respond to me.
Right.
Like, but he don't know, like, what I got to deal with it. Because I'm like, don't you two have a kid, because it's gonna be worse for you than it is for me.
Was there a point in time where you were just like, I can't believe we're still doing this?
Last year. That's
like,
why I had
why
the conversation.
Still doing this?
Your face was my face. I'm confused. Right. I'm baffled. I'm confounded, as they are, confounded, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I'm sitting here with dumb slapped ass face, like, we're still here.
Right.
Still to me a certain way. I'm like, yo, don't you feel like insanity has been happening? What do you mean? Yeah, we've been doing the same thing over and over again for the past 10 years.
Right.
You want to keep doing this? Cool. I'm tired of doing it. Like, that's why I was doing it. I was like, yo, something got to give. It really does.
Right. When are we going to stop going through this battle over and over again? And we got
new ones.
Okay, this is coercive parenting. This is where one parent tries to control or manipulate the other parent by creating a turbulent power struggle. Ooh.
Yep, that's my life.
But I've been negative about him. Let me say something nice. At least they eat really healthy with him because he's very cautious of ingredients and food. That is one positive thing. There you go.
That's crazy.
You feel like you have to agree to everything your co-parent suggests, even if you don't want to. Wow. Your co-parent tries to control what you do during your visitation time with your child. Ugh. I can't imagine.
Mm-hmm. It's weird. It's the weirdest behavior. But the thing is, the courts, when you go to courts and stuff, what they're looking at it as, we try to look at it like, it's a good thing, and it's not. These mofos are sitting here like, look, you two dummies can't get along, so we're going to force somebody to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes some people walk into the courtroom thinking they about to get all this shit, and then they'll do a whole reverse on you. Like,
Right.
oh, you make more money.
Your co-parent
Here
denies
you go.
access to making important decisions or essential information about your child, such as medical records, school.
Yes, I got you, Krista.
And your co-parent regularly interrupts your time with your child with excessive phone calls in order to assert their authority. Ugh.
She had wrote this. My bad. Your co-parent.
I know, I read that one too.
Okay.
Co-parent denies access to making important decisions or essential information about your child, such as medical records or school progress reports. And then the last one she added is your co-parent makes false accusations against you in order to gain custody or visitation rights. You have to ask yourself, like, what is the motivation? Is the motivation selfishness because I want the child, or do I just want to hurt you?
Yeah, you just want to hurt. I'm going to tell you something about this. Is the thing. This is a clear example of it.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter's mom knew she made way more than me at one point. Way
Mm-hmm.
more. She was making like $100,000 basically at that time. I don't give a shit. What the fuck she gonna do? She make about $100,000. She knew she was making about that much, and at the time, I don't know what she did, but she put her money away in some type of account. Right? It's like this thing you do, or she worked for the government. It's a thing you do where you could put your money into this savings, but it wasn't reflecting your check. So your check looks small.
Right.
But they didn't know there was a thing there. So I had told my aunt. My aunt has worked for the government for 40 plus years at this point, 40 years. She laughed when she heard it. She just was like, I know exactly what she did. I was like, what? She put her money in that savings that the government do. It won't reflect in her check. So a lot of the times they will pay attention to all the things, right? So it made her check look like it was small because what they did was they took it right off the top, like it's a payroll deduction. They take it before it even hits your account.
Right.
So when she gets her checks, it looked like she was making. When I seen that shit, my eyes just lit up. At that time, I'm speaking on somebody else's money, but I think at that time, I'm just giving my examples of co-parenting. So if she see this, hey, I'm sorry you mad, but she made like, I don't say like every 2 weeks, maybe made about $3,000, three plus grand every 2 weeks. How the fuck did you go from 3 plus grand or damn near $3,000 to $1,250?
Wow.
So when our checks were close to each other, I was not making that much because at that time I was trying my best. I was taking any job at this time because I had to pay child support. So I'm taking this job, taking the job, taking the job, I had to keep taking jobs. She kept on. I want what's fair. That was her thing. I want what's fair. So when that happened, the judge at first she put the price down herself. The judge was like, "Yeah, you got to pay $475 every 2 weeks." My check literally was probably about, at that time, this is like 2017 maybe. My checks was probably about every 2 weeks. I probably was getting like 800. They wanted more than half of that shit.
Wow.
Every 2 weeks. 400, almost $500. Like, can you imagine taking $500 from somebody's check? And that's not including, like, you got to still live and eat and pay the bills and pay car notes the door. What are you going to do with $600 a month?
Right.
Fuck you gonna do with that? And I kept trying to look for better that because it just was it was pretty down for me at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Like that shit was some of the most heartbreaking. I just was like, yo, I'm gonna get fucked. Like it just period. Excuse my language, but I'm gonna get fucked over.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, she had it was so stupid. It was so petty. It was so everything for no reason. What's up, Rachel? It just was dumb. Like it really was. And the fact that I had to go through that, like those things play with me. It's going to mess in the future. I'm telling everybody, like we might be cool now because we got to do this. But once I'm done with paying child support, when I say that woman will never be able to talk to me ever again,
Right.
like zero. Zero. You can sit right directly next to me, and I won't say a word to you. You will become a non-existent person to me because of how this process was.
Right.
And I don't think people understand that. They just look at it like, well, you got a job to do. You got a kid. Y'all don't understand what I had to go through. Y'all don't understand that I was the one with the full-time father. I the one that chose not to do the reverse.
Right.
And I could have easily done that.
Especially considering the fact that you are such a hands-on father. I feel like people don't realize.
Yes.
For me, like when I think about it, I look at things sometimes a little bit different because I wish I could have had another hands-on parent or a parent that wanted to be active within my child's life. When people always like, why don't you go for child support? And I was like, honestly, child support is not my main priority right now. I really just want somebody else to like partner in this, like in this role with me. Because I even say this,
Wow.
People who say like, I might as well be a single parent. Listen, if you have a father or a mother for either or that wants to be active and a part of a child's life, please just let them be, because there's nothing more stressful and in the long run, just like taxing on a person than carrying the weight of it all on your own. It's hard. And I know a lot of people can be in a marriage or in a relationship and still feel like they're single parenting because they're doing it by themselves. You know what I mean? Like,
It doesn't change. It doesn't make the parent be active. Like, first of all, you getting child support, the kid only know that you're doing I'm gonna do this shit. I'm gonna do that big time because I don't know what the fuck be happening with that money. Like, you don't know what's going on with that money. You don't know at all.
mm-mm.
The kid. That's the part that makes more sense. You want the money, but where does it go? Like, the thing is,
Hurt, Craig. The answer's hurt.
y'all being y'all being single parents has that hurt, dating life.
I'll just
Okay.
it hurt me. I made a lot of. Let me also say this. I do not regret it. Okay, but I will say that dating life was almost non-existent. Because for a multitude of reasons, it was a lot about who I brought around my daughter. It was a lot about people not understanding the amount of time that I put into being a parent, and that I couldn't live a single woman life. Like, I wasn't just living a single life. A lot of people didn't understand that, and didn't understand when I would say, I have to do this and I can't do that, and I can't lay up under you, or you can't be in my, like things like, a lot of that had a lot to do with it. And a lot of times I just detached from dating because it was too difficult to balance working full time and being a full-time mom and the priority of it. And I will also say there was a brief period of time where it also had a lot to do with guilt. It had a lot to do with me feeling selfish to focus on myself when I hadn't given my child a life with both of her parents. I went through that at one point. So yeah, there's a multitude of reasons why I did not date. Everything happened in phases and also like at different times, but it definitely hurt my dating life. Do I regret it? No. Do I wish I would have known a better way to handle it, or there could have been another way to handle it? Yeah, but do I think that well, let me take that back. I don't think that I don't regret my sacrifices, but do I wish that I could have known of another way that I could have also felt that it would have been equally as healthy and for her and for me at the same time? Yeah.
I pretty much feel the same. Sucked ass juice.
Charlene said, I would prefer to co-parent than be a full-time parent again. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just it's what you.
That's full-time parenting is. When it's, but I think what she's saying is like when it's just you and the other parent does not want to do anything or be a part of anything. That right there, that is really difficult. So it was more so that your standards and time changed, not so much that you were no longer valued in the dating market. No, I didn't think that. I've never felt that I wasn't valued in the dating market. I was about to say something real arrogant, but I had to stop myself. I was going to say something really arrogant, but also not serious.
Speak your mind, Craig.
I never felt that I was less valued. It was a personal choice for me. Craig, I'm the shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep, there you go. That was it. Thugnomics.
What do you mean?
I like that everybody's engaging in this part right here. Basic is funny as hell. Me being is go ahead.
Did it affect my dating life? It shut it down. I shut it down myself. Same. Until my oldest was old enough to be independent, because my energy and time simply wasn't about just me anymore. Exactly. I don't think I started to even think about actively dating until Lola hit a certain age. The reason I ask is because people say single dads have it better than single moms, but according to Mike's testimony, that's not always the case. I think people say a lot of like, people always have this idea that like, and you hear it a lot, like in these a lot in these red pill chats too, where they'll be like, single moms are just like, they're like, we're painted out to be some sort of like helpless, hopeless, devalued, like end of the road kind of option. And that's not true. Like a lot of times we're not dating because we made the choice not to date. It's because we're making the choice of where to put our value. Men don't stop being a person because, right, men don't stop being, listen, if a man could have snatched me up, he probably would have. It was and did not care that I had a child, because not only am I the shit, but I'm an amazing mom. That thumbs up came at the right time. Not only am I the shit, I'm an amazing mother. Okay, so like, nah, but it was a conscientious choice. Before I put myself out there and said that I wanted to really get back into it and felt like I felt comfortable for myself, I wanted my daughter to be of a certain age. That was my own personal choice. You know, I made that choice for myself. It wasn't because I felt like I wasn't a commodity and people didn't value me. I didn't feel that. I know that often people paint it that way, but that is definitely not the truth. They don't stop. They don't enough stop because they don't. Men do not like. Do you think men wanted to stop talking to me just because I had absolutely not? They were trying to talk to me when I was pregnant. They were trying to talk to me.
Pregnant yams. They ain't never had no pregnant yams before.
Oh my god.
Pregnant yams.
Charlene made a good point. I had to go older to meet someone who has at least one child. True, because the amount of single men who didn't have children and didn't understand the priority that I put on my child was also difficult. So I made the choice a lot of times to halt on dating, but it was not because people weren't still coming for me.
Mm-hmm. They gonna come for you.
That was a me thing.
Niggas is on their way.
That was a me thing. It was me making that decision. It wasn't because somebody was like, "Oh, she's a single mama."
They don't care.
No.
They don't care.
But also I think, you know, and I'm sure there are men who do feel that way about single mothers. But I was a single mother to my child, who was also, we were both very well taken care of by me. We were not struggling. She was not struggling. I was a hard worker. I took care of her. I took care of us. And I think that showed. And I think that probably it could have made me more attractive. The fact that I was taking care of business with that child, and me and her were both very well taken care of, and I don't know why that wouldn't be an attractive thing. That's
facts, Craig. Shout out to the single moms. That's the shit. I didn't get them cakes until kids. What do you mean?
She didn't get them cakes.
Oh, she got a booty now. Okay. All right. Wagon.
Yeah, I was making that shit happen. It was so funny because, you know, when I think all mothers, whether or not they're single mothers or not, we all go through that initial period after we have our children. We forget about ourselves, right? We forget who we are. We stop dressing. We stop looking cute. It's the child look cute, and we look like somebody just dug us up out of the ground. Let me tell you, there hit a point in time early. I was like,
"Oh, baby,
Lola's gonna be embarrassed to be seen with me." And then it was, I don't want. Listen, if my child is cute, I have to also be cute. We're gonna be cute together, okay? We're gonna be walking around here looking cute together. There's no way I'm gonna be looking like I'm just came out with a potato sack on and she looking cute.
I'm a potato.
Right. I'm a potato.
I'm a potato.
No. So I took care of me and her and our house, like our households, me and her. She was very well taken care of. I was very well taken care of. If anything, it probably made me even more attractive than I was before when I was single.
Look at she talking cash shit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about shit. That's you right now, motherfucker.
I will say, and I also say this: I think I really took life more seriously when I became a parent. Yeah.
Listen, single moms the shit. Like you said, single moms is the shit.
Nothing like thinking from your top to your shirt, right? Because you forgot to pump. Listen, those first few months to a year when you have your child, you forget who the hell you are. Hair be looking crazy. All your clothes are sweatpants for no reason.
Y'all walking around
Sweatpants
looking
and
like
big shirts.
y'all walking around looking like James Brown when he was sweating after
Right,
that.
ain't wearing no makeup. I had my sister has 3 young ones, and just even after her last one, who's now 2, she was like, I gotta get my shit. She's like, I gotta get it together. I'm looking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you lose yourself for a minute. More mature men understand and saying basic thing. I always right. Ain't never had a problem with a man being after me. That ain't never been a problem.
What, the man getting at you?
And yeah, with a man, I've never had a problem with a man wanting me. It was whether or not I would want it to be in that situation. I hindered my own self.
I deal with the complete opposite though.
Really? Why? What has been your experience?
What with people? With women?
Mm-hmm.
And the single dad life? It'd be when they found out how at the time how old my daughter was, they was like, "Oh no, you can still get back with the daughter's mom." I was like, "Yep, well, I ain't getting married in that no time soon." Yeah, that's when I started realizing that shit. And then it's like, I don't know. I will say this, I get it. Like I don't need nobody to tell me anything, even though you're probably gonna do it anyway. Um, I don't look like everybody else. Look like my own fucking person. Like I am a freckle faced, tall, lighter toned man with red hair all over the place. I am not your choice. You might like me once you see me, but I am not your choice. It's not like somebody looking for a fucking unless I've said this before, unless you experience that you're not looking for a fucking freckle faced ginger, which is completely fine. That's fine to me because once you get to know who I am, then it's like, oh, I do like him.
Right,
like,
right.
But I'm not a choice because people only know what they like, and that's okay. You grew up around these type of people, you grew up around these type of people. I'm an anomaly. I don't look like everybody else.
Right.
And I like that. Like, and that's why I say like it's different because when people try to date me, I never felt as though people wanted to date me because they actually wanted to be with me. I thought they always dated me because they've never seen something like that before. Somebody has told me like, yo, you got that exotic look to you. I'm like, do not ever call me no fucking exotic ever again. Never. Don't do that. Like,
you don't want to be called exotic.
Fucking exotic. You call me some fucking exotic boy.
You want to be called exotic.
Do I look like a pyramid? Like, do I look like I'm the pharaoh of life? Like, no. Like, I feel like single mom sex drive.
Exotic.
Hell yeah, them Jones be through the roof. They be trying to hump on you. They want to hump on you, Holmes. Up to the ballpark.
Oh my gosh.
Craig like, huh? She's like, huh? Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Well, the cats, yeah, I love cat videos. I'm sorry. I love me some cat.
I'm just saying when you're a good man to a single mom, they are.
Yeah, it is. Because they know what they love. So they have the love and the care. What are you laughing at, Boba? We have exceeded our time. I don't really want to get off, but you know.
It was a good one.
It was an amazing show.
She said women don't want Big Mike. No. Hey.
I said they don't want me. It's just that most people when people actually like me with a mean face. I'm like, how do you like me and your face is like you ready to destroy the world? Oh, I mean, I'm just, I thought you was attractive. I'm like, your face ain't gonna bring me to you, so your face gonna make me stay further away. I'm one of those guys that don't believe in just talking to anybody. Like, no, I'm not gonna walk up to you and just start talking to you. If you got a face on you, I ain't gonna be one of them guys like, oh man, but she got a body. Nah, Negro, your face is giving me too many problems right now. I'm gonna miss out on my wife because she got a mean ass face. It's okay.
So you want a smiley woman?
No, I just need an engaging, and your physical presence has to be engaging.
You want somebody who always smiling?
No, just need you to be engaging. If you look like you mad all the time, the hell am I going to do with that? I can't be the one that sit there and you sit there like grilling on.
You want somebody exotic?
No.
No. Y'all can look exotic together, Mike.
What? No, I'm not walking. No.
Y'all can look exotic.
I don't even know what exotic is supposed
together.
to be. Exotic, I think, is what is that? Something you never, that ain't normal to you? Like you don't normally see this? So it's exotic to you mentally? Okay.
Y'all can be exotic together.
Like they try to talk about Kim Kardashian and them. Oh, this is exotic. Okay. They look normal to me. So. But all right, y'all. It's about that time. We have to get ready and get off of here. Y'all gonna keep commenting. This shit is
where's my hearts? Come on.
If you are not more attractive than I didn't know that. Applause. Pat yourselves on the back today. Looking forward to the next episode.
Thanks, Craig.
Thank you. Hey, y'all not humping on you. Yeah, we trying to hump on you. All they want to do is fucking bump and grind. I'm using all these old ass words.
He said bump and
grind. All they want to do is grind on you and hump your leg and shit like that. And like, yeah, get your little horny ass away from me. Like, yo, what's up with you?
Oh my gosh.
And I don't mind it. I love when women are just a certain way. Like, it's dope. I think if a woman wants you in that type of way, you're doing something right.
Right.
But you also got to not do it to everybody either. So, let my age show, just a little bit.
What's so crazy is he's not old enough to be saying none of that.
I am old enough to
say. You know what?
I'm 39 years old. I was around at that time. I'm 30, almost 39. I was around at this time to know all that stuff.
You know what's funny? I remember I posted a video on TikTok with the Jodeci song, and Ron, I don't know where Ron is, but Ron said,
"Word is born."
Who? Y'all talking Word is born?
Go ahead.
Oh, Ron told me I was too. The song was before my time. We like Ron.
Oh yeah, I met her at Drake night.
I was like, that's very sweet. I'll be 42 in a few weeks. That was real sweet around. I said, that's real sweet, funny, and sweet.
Rachel, humping your leg is crazy, but I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. When y'all ladies want something, y'all gonna grind on something. It's like a cat. When the cats get ready and they.
What are you talking about?
You hear all that shit?
Nah. You talking crazy.
It's cat. That ain't true. Y'all be just. So when you in the mood and you ain't gonna go rub on them.
What do you mean? No.
Like go up to him and lay on him or do some extra stuff.
I'm doing that anyway. I'm a touchy person.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna rub your stuff and y'all gonna go meet the meat.
Sorry, time out. You just said two different things. I didn't say anything about rubbing my stuff. Okay.
But y'all gonna pump and grind.
Oh my God.
And your centimeter kitty cat.
No, just stop while you're ahead.
Right.
Cut it. Stop while you're ahead.
All right, y'all.
Bye.
We out of here, y'all. It's time for us to go. I think I'm delusionally sleepy and hungry all at the same time. Yeah, you gotta grind on it. I got like a nasty R. Kelly song. Or like that. What's that song? Yeah, grind on me.
Craig, I realized that we would touch your person. I was talking about touch the guy that I'm with. Okay, let me stop. Let me stop him while he's ahead.
That's why you live. That's why I love cat memes. I mean, hold up. I got y'all. Hold up. They want a cat video. Let's see what they want. Oh my gosh. They want a cat video. You don't tease me and then tell me not to put on a cat video. I'll put on a cat video. I don't even think I got cat videos on here. Damn it. It's going to take too long to go find it. We sort of been off of this thing. Basic is hungry. Oh. That's the only cat video I got. Is this? That's what happened when you eat them yams right.
Oh my God.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Yeah, listen, Rachel, I got us back here talking now. Yeah, meet the meat. Yeah, you gotta go meet the meat. Big meat, little
No.
meat.
No.
I'm done. I'm editing.